Good day, Zimbabwe. Good day, Africa. My name is Tichaona Mupasiri, coming to you live here on my channel, Campus 911. Today, I've just turned 40 years. 40 years is not a joke. Being accorded to me by the heavens. Yeah, so I'm forever grateful. I will not stop thanking the Almighty for taking me this far. Okay, talking about Campus 911, let me just explain this. Campus 911 is a registered company which was incorporated in 2020. 2020. Uh, why Campus 911? I realized most of students in higher and tertiary education, they lack scaffolding in as far as their skills are concerned. They need to have somewhere to practice what they've learned. So I took it as a challenge upon me as one of the senior students in the tertiary institutions, and also one of the student leaders, having led Intake 20 at St. Teachers College as its chairperson and also as interim president for St. Teachers College starting from 2017 November, where I got the anointing from the outgoing SRC team that was there back then. Yes, my enrollment education institution was an afterthought. I've been doing something way back. I'm a professional in many areas that concerned with governance, management, ICT, and quite a number of fields. Why I did that? Because I wanted to contribute to my nation. I had contributed earlier as a young adult at the age of 25. I was in Botswana, where I was part of the team that uh, oversaw the computerization of the government of Botswana. Most of the departments, if not all the departments in Botswana, we did that computerization. I was part of the team that worked on those projects. To mention but a few, I would want to maybe mention the computerization of the Ministry of Education nationwide in Botswana, the computerization of the Ministry of Health, Botswana Police Services, uh, the Defense College, the Police College, and many other arms of the government, departments of the government, including the president's office. That time, President Eric Kama was the president of Botswana. And I would like to acknowledge Botswana for what it has done to my being as a young adult from a Zimbabwe, a nation which was then seen as one of the not so uh, developed nations, underdeveloped nations. They accepted me. I learned a lot from Botswana in terms of governance, good governance, in terms of tolerance, in terms of the business acumen, the correct business acumen. Yeah, I learned a lot from Botswana. So after the expiry of my work permit, I to come back to Zimbabwe because I had this urge. You know, I'm politically wired, having grown in a family which was surrounded by big political icons like Edson Jonas Mdadiro Zogwa. My father is uh, eh, related to the Zogwas. His mother is a Zogwa. And we had the political waves blowing on us each and every day. So it was inevitable that I would find myself in that kind of a scenario where I would be talking, eating, and living politics. Okay. So upon coming back, uh, I worked for some few organizations, a very big organizations, some of them on the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange. Because of my brilliance, I got a scholarship from Strive Masiwa. I was studying programming, computer programming. I graduated in 2015. But you know, at a tender age of about 24 years, I'd already registered my company. So working for the other companies for a very long time, for me, it was, you know, and there was no shared understanding between myself and the other people who were tasked to employ me because I was given a contract where I would do programming in a team, computer programming in a team, uh, where we would get 60% of the revenue collected from whatever project that we would have done. But I said to them, you guys, when you gave us the scholarships, you said you wanted us to be mentored business wise. You wanted us to be business people. You wanted us to be groomed to become a renowned business people. That was fine. But did you consider the fact that some of us who are the recipients of this scholarship from Strive Masiva are also business owners? Because I had my companies registered, I had progenitor systems, I had 8 grain trading, I also had Five Wings Transport. So the companies were there. So I asked them, guys, instead of giving me this contract in my name where I'm supposed to receive 60% from the work that I would have done, what I'm going to do is I will ask you, or I'm asking you to rewrite the contract, just remove my name, put the name of my company, which is Progenitor Systems, so that I must be able to employ others and also increase the uptake of projects because we're supposed to do some applications, writing some applications, writing some programs, designing some websites, designing some customized applications which would have been requested by a client. So I was referred to one of the guys who was the head of education in that organization that had given me the scholarship. He said, no, that's fine. But the other guys who were under him blocked me. So I just said, no, guys, I won't sign the contract. I didn't sign the contract. I had to leave. So from there, I started a training center. A training center, I was training people, youths, basically the basic computing skills business schools, business skills. Uh, these were the skills that I thought were popular. They were in demand in the industry. Because remember, after I came back, I worked for a few big companies. So I knew what was needed. I knew what was demanded in terms of the soft skills that each and every person needs to have when joining a company. This business, I had taken over that business, which was about to close. Yeah, it's owned by some person who is currently staying in Canada. So we made some agreements. I took over the business. I was supposed to retain 70%, and also they were supposed to get 30% from the profits. But that was after I'd cleared uh, the debts that they had prior to my coming. And remember that time I was working for a bank, so I knew how to go about it. I had spoken to the landlord, they were owing the landlord, they were owing on some utility bills. I think till one they were owing, they had a number of issues on that company. I had to secure some computers. We started training. The business was big. Everything was just okay. People were amazed on how I was able to resuscitate the business that was considered dead and out of touch with the realities of the economy in Zimbabwe. So from there, after a few months, jealousy cropped up from one of the partners. You know, when someone is in Canada, uh, if that person has business, the person is supposed to declare taxes, is supposed to pay taxes. So another guy on paper, he was the director of that company. So he came and said, "No, my friend, the contract that you signed a contract with the wrong person. I'm the one who is the owner of the company. So this contract is now in void. I'm taking over the company and I'm kicking you out." Then I said, "No, no problem." I left the company. The only thing that I wanted was my computer because there was very much important information that was there. I had very important information that was there. I had researches that I had done for over 3 years that I still have. The research, the researches included the who is who's of each and every town in Zimbabwe. I think about 28 towns in Zimbabwe, amounting to about 30 million US dollars. So I really needed that information. I really needed that computer. I even asked, "No, my friend, if you want to take everything, you can just take all the other things, but kindly give me the computer." I lost a number of things, a number of computers, I think about 25 computers. I also lost some cameras because I'm very so okay. So what happened is I hatched a plan. My grandfather had a school. The school is still there. That's where I went to to do my grade one up until form 4. So I was very much inspired by him starting a school, establishing a school in his as back as 1956. So I was saying, eh, I'm qualified to enroll in any teacher training center in Zimbabwe. Why mustn't I go there and do the application? I did the application in 2016. Unfortunately, I wasn't responded. I was very angry. I had to go and meet the authorities at some college in Zimbabwe, where I asked them about the criteria in which they used to enroll students. The answer that I got was not satisfactory. So I had to literally issue some threats as a concerned citizen that I mustn't be blocked from training as a teacher because I had the qualifications. The qualifications were there, and if they were to train about 10 people, I was supposed to be one of the people to be trained. If they were to train 5 people, I was also supposed to be one of the top five students to be enrolled. Okay, so from there, I was told that there was going to be an opportunity for me to reapply. They apologized. They said there was an error in capturing the information. I just said no, that's fine. So in 2017, I saw myself enrolling as a student teacher. That was merely an afterthought. Basically, I'm a business person. I'm an entrepreneur. Business is something that I know better than anything else under the sun. So I was saying, if I qualify as a teacher, I would be able to educate the nation with my political ambition of becoming the president of Zimbabwe in 2038. That will become handy as I would be part and parcel of those people who educate the nation on what is good and right. Remember, teachers are the custodians of society. So I really wanted to be part and parcel of those people who spend their time and devote their energy in molding the future of the country. So I think in about a month or so, I'll be done with my teaching course at diploma level. Within 6 months, I must be able to enroll for a degree program. They call me professor at college. Even back then, when I was working, they used to call me professor. Maybe it's because of the way how I articulate my issues, how I embed uh, intellectual arguments on each and every conversation that I have with a number of people. That's when I got that prefix, a professor. So it was really a prophecy because I think in the next 10 years, I'll be one professor, one of the professors in Zimbabwe. Yeah. So today, like I said, I've just turned 40. 40 is a long journey, is a journey that is characterized by a number of bends and turns, a journey that is characterized by a terrain which is not plain, a terrain which is rough, a terrain which is unjust. And for one to be able to maneuver under those circumstances, it needs heavens, it needs divine intervention, it needs covering and protection. Some of the people are no more as we speak today. It's really a blessing to be 40 today. For me, it's really a blessing, and I would want to acknowledge the lessons that I learned from my mother's house. My mother was my best teacher, my first home economics teacher. She believed in division of labor. That was a favorite topic. And she inculcated in the 11 of us something that I will not forget. She was someone who believed in sharing. Not being able to share was a punishable offense by my mother's laws, and I learned that a person is a person with a society. So rest in peace, Mama. She passed on the 6th of July 2016. We laid her to rest on the 8th of July 2016, and that was more like a coincidence. And for me, today I celebrate my life. I also celebrate the life of my mother. And coincidentally, again, my son, my 2-year-old son, Tichaona Jr., he was also born on the 8th of July 2019. So he's also turning 2 today. So happy birthday, Mfana. Happy birthday, son. Wish you well. Wish you many more years of good health. Uh, I wish you all the wisdom that the world and the heavens can accord to you. Grow up to become a great father, a great son to the society and to your mother. All right, that's okay. So you're seeing me here. I have a guitar. This guitar thing, I started playing a guitar when I was about 5 years old. How it started, it's very interesting. My brother Alfred, who is the eldest of the brothers, yes, I have other elder sisters, Eunice and Lillian, but Alfred is the third born, but is the eldest son in our family. My mother had 11 children, the same father. So there was Eunice, Lillian, Alfred, Alton, Resign, Tichaona, Courage, Karen, Chipo, Alpha, and Kochesai. So uh, Eunice is late, Alfred is late, Resign is late, Courage is late, Alpha is late also. May their souls rest in eternal peace. Okay, so Alfred, together with his friends, Alfred used to stay with my paternal grandmother, paternal grandmother. Uh, our grandmother is from the Zongo family. So they, Alfred had friends, sons to one of our aunties there who used to play guitars. So they taught him how to play guitar, intending to come to us, teach us how to play guitar. Alton was also a very good guitar player, having been taught by Alfred. So he became a very prolific guitar player. And I also learned the ropes in terms of guitar playing. Resign also was a guitar player. So basically, the four of us, we could make a round table make our own makeshift guitars from olive in gallons, the 5 liter plastic containers, fix a plank, get some twines, come up with a guitar and start playing the guitar. So it was more like a band. We had some other guys who used to play of Million Mutonga, Million Muhira. He was a very good guitar player. His brother was set free, set free Mutonga or set free Muhira. Wherever you are, Million and set free, big up. You did quite a great thing in our lives because I learned a lot. Million was very intelligent in school. Set Free was also very intelligent in school. My brothers were very intelligent in school. So it cascaded down to me. I never had any problem when it comes to schoolwork. Grade 7, I passed my grade 7. Then I went to secondary school. I passed my Form 2. I also passed my O level. Yeah, I just decided not to go to A level because I saw no use at that particular time to go to A level because I knew what I wanted to do in life. So, like I said, this is my guitar. This guitar, I got it. You can see there is a pen here. Yeah, I don't have a couple. That couple. I looked for a couple in town, but I couldn't find any. So this is improvisation. Improvisation. As a teacher, you must be able to improvise. So I used a pen. I tied it with some electric cable so that I get the sound, the actual sound that I want to produce from from this guitar. That is why I had to tie it on this particular fret. Okay, this is so 1, 2, 3 on the fourth fret. I tied it on the fourth fret. So I'm going to show you how I play the guitar, everything that I can do on the guitar. Okay, and also as parents, it is always good to note that are not for losers. Guitars, they help development, they help in the development of your children's mental abilities. Psychologically, they develop because knowing the chords is one of the hardest tasks. So if they know the chords in music, it means they can know anything, be it mathematics, be it science, and everything. So I would encourage you to allow your children to experiment with things like these because they are also part of educational tools that we can use to increase the academic achievement of learners in the teaching and learning process. So I recommend even at home, I also teach my kids how to play music. I've also devoted time in teaching my fellow colleagues at college, those who would want to learn how to play guitar, and those who would want to learn how to use a computer because I very much qualified when it comes to computing. So as a 21st century teacher, each and every person who comes out of the institutions of higher and tertiary education, higher and tertiary learning institution must be able to use the contemporary tools that we find in the teaching and learning process. Why is it like that? It's because in Zimbabwe, we've been having a challenge with the model that used to be there, which was Education 3.0. Education 3.0 it only concentrated on three pillars of education, which is teaching, research, and community services. Uh, Teaching, research, and community service. These three pillars were only important in the sense that they produced workers. They produced a few individuals who could take risks and enter into entrepreneurship or venture into entrepreneurship, coming up with companies, eh, creating employment. So the government now, under the new dispensation, the Second Republic, in the Ministry of Higher and Tertiary Education, there was a rebranding in terms of the education system that's supposed to be followed in Zimbabwe, courtesy of Minister Honorable Murira, who brought about the other two pillars to our education system, which is innovation and industrialization. Hence, the coining of the name Education 5.0, meaning to say the education system that we now have has five pillars. Okay, it has five pillars, namely teaching, research, community service, innovation, and industrialization. All right. Why industrialization? Why innovation and industrialization? Is because we want all the graduates from institutions of higher and tertiary education to be able to have skills that lead to the production of goods and services. That is why I registered the company Campus 911. We didn't want these students to wait up until they complete their studies. They should be able to produce whilst they are still in school, whilst they are Hence, Campus 911 seeks to tap all the information, tap all the skills and knowledge that the learners or the students would have acquired and transform them, transmute them into something that is tangible in terms of goods and services. So this is why we have Campus 911, and also this channel is a channel which is run by Campus 911, the same company that I'm talking about. Okay. So Campus 911 wants to tap in or to work with students, give them the platform to transmute their knowledge into the physical equivalence. And this physical equivalence leads to the production of goods and services. Okay, basically, that's all about Campus 911. I'm going to show you what I can do on a guitar, the tunes that I can play on a guitar. I may not play all of them, but I'll just try my best to make sure that I express it's therapeutic for someone to be able to play a guitar. You you get entertained at the same time you get to entertain sing. It is a sure way of making sure that when you want to ease some pressure, maybe from the studies or maybe from the worries of life, if you take your guitar, yeah, it shows some form of therapy. Yeah, it is. Some people say all those people who can play guitars are humane in nature. Okay, we are very much patient. I'm very much patient with people because it demands patience for someone to know how to play a guitar. So I'm going to play guitar for you. Okay. Panafana unoridza zvesimdanzo. Okay, I think I need to do something for the simdanzo fans. Yeah, I still had some learners during my teaching practice who like the song that I'm going to play. Yeah, it's one of the hit songs. I think even the record label owners like Passion Jab. Okay, yeah, I was saying what I'm going to bring about is some Zimdanzo flavored song, which stables like Passions may adopt. Okay, because this is a hit song. It is a hit song. I wrote this song way back, I think around 2004. I'm a writer, I'm a storyteller, I'm a novelist. I write a lot. Okay, I used to write. I think when I was in Form 2, I'd written a book, a Shona book. By the time I completed O level, that was in 1999, I read about 3 books and one other book that had poems. I've written more than 260 songs, uh, but that was way back. As of 2004, I had more than 260 songs. But you know, I wanted to finish my education. I didn't want anything to do with music because mom didn't like that. Mom wanted me to be an academic, wanted me to go to school to finish my school and stop all these things. This she used to say, music is a riffraff profession. You don't get anything from there. You end up misbehaving and so forth. So I had to listen to what she had to say or she said to me. So I really wanted to finish my education. I've done quite a number of things in terms of education. But the only missing thing that I realized much later when I was into the profession, it was the teaching qualification. Most teachers that we find and we see today, they have inferiority complex. Their regard for their profession is very appalling, it's very sad, and it's worrisome because they can't say anything positive about the profession which they find themselves in. They are always saying negative things about teaching as a profession. And I would want to clearly tell this to the world that 80% of the teachers in Zimbabwe are not teacher material. Only about 20% are teacher material because the regard that they have for their profession is worrisome and it needs a shift of mindset. Because as a teacher, we must live by example. What we teach in class is something that we must be able to do. Like for me, I'm an agriculture major student. Uh, During my research, I did I had 2 researches, one from my main subject and the other one which is the general research. But I picked a topic in the area of ICT. Why ICT? Because ICT is being used in the contemporary teaching and learning environment. The use of modern multimedia technologies in teaching and learning, it enhances academic achievement in learners. It also promotes connectivism. It also promotes interaction and demonstration. There is heightened uh, knowledge retention when learners use multimedia technologies in their education, in their everyday learning process. If you want to check with philosophers like John Locke, they say the visuals constitute to about 83% of the learning, and the audios they constitute to about 13.5%. So meaning to say audio and visuals, they are the most important aspects in teaching and learning, because we have visuals giving or constituting 83% and audio constituting 13.5%. Already we are on 96%. So we need to encourage our children to employ multimedia technologies in their education. I've seen it happening. I have a research that I've tabled with the college. I've given it to the college for assessment, but I believe it's one of the works that is supposed to be taken seriously, because I've done this research, I've seen it working, I've seen competitiveness in terms of academic excellence, in terms of academic achievement of learners. All those learners that were believed to be having a dyslexia, that were believed to be Down syndrome, that were believed to be less gifted. I witnessed change as a result of that treatment that I had, because I had everything set up. Okay, this is my machine. I had everything set up, a PA system. It was set up in the class. The learners were using microphones. I funded, I self-funded that. There was nothing in that school. There was no such setup at the school. I was at Dudley Hall in Norton. There was no setup of that nature. So I had a mini PA system. It had microphones. Learners were using microphones during the lessons, so they liked it. It was more of stimulation to the learners. I had my guitar. I would play my guitar, and I had my laptop with me in that class. I had dedicated Wi-Fi. I had my Wi-Fi module that I had for the class. It was dedicated for the class. You would come to my class, you would connect to a Wi-Fi hotspot that was there in that class. I still remember I was teaching grade 4 green and grade 5 green from 2018 to about 2019. Okay, before I got transferred to Chinembiri Primary School in Chitumbiza, where I completed my teaching practice. Okay, so I'm talking about something that I know, that I really know that it works. Multimedia technologies is the way to go. It's the new art of teaching. Any teacher who is not compliant, who is not conversant to these new strategies of teaching is lost in the jungle. That is why I'm saying I've devoted my time to assist teachers with no soft skills free of charge. I can assist them free of charge on some computer basics. I can also teach those teachers with no guitar skills how to play a guitar, so that it becomes a motivation, a stimulating a practice that a teacher needs to employ in his teaching and learning, resulting in high academic achievement and competitiveness of the class. Okay, right. Hey everyone in the walker, when you walker, hey everyone in the walker, full of sure. Hey everyone in the walker, when you walker, hey everyone in the walker, full of sure. Every day I'm in Latin, I put it on the power, can I was inspired to and she never lie. To kind of back chain, only carry on the side. Kuna gana baba to what it boom baba bye. Just like an angel, she a coming and run. Hey, everyone in the walker, when you walk, everyone in the walker, come on, fly. Everyone in the walker. When you walk, everyone in the water, full of sure. Every day I'm in Latin, matter why you put it, money power, line, was inspired to and she and live a line. No kind of back chain, only can hear on the side. No kind of papa, you what you do, papa, just like a ninja, she a woman and every minute of your life, baby girl, we are going to be and the way we go on, you the Jimmy, we are going to be every minute of your life, baby girl, we are going to be baby girl, I'm gonna do some bomb rasa, Sati, Roshaka, you can this, I'm sure to run home when I want you to rasa. And you don't got your fire, it's a blazer, baby girl. Mwana wedu chachengeta isinichi panzi tomeni chikereta bori choko kwete nichatenga sirivita mene mwana baby nichakuchengeta yomite mpambe sorry chikolokolo chakota. This is not only baby girl I never doubt niweka waniroda chimwe chimu uya kuno kutiwiyane every minute tomelema baby girl uya kuno kutiwiyane ndiweweka waniroda chimwe chimu uya kuno kutiwiyane every minute tomelema baby girl uya kuno kutiwiyane. Celebrating 40 years, 40 years of existence, 40 years of life in Zimbabwe. Is that not good? It is definitely good. It is definitely fulfilling. 40 years in Zimbabwe, 40 years of existence, 40 years of health life, 40 years of persistence, 40 years of hard working in Zimbabwe. This is good. Okay, this is my college room. College right now. I stayed behind. Yes, we closed on the 1st of June 2021, but I left. I was supposed to complete my agriculture project. Agriculture is very demanding. I was working on the broiler production project where I was comparing two regimes, ad-lib feeding and restricted feed. So I had to stay behind for about 6 weeks. So the beds we've closed the project, but I'm still writing up something. It's also another chapter in my education career where I'm seen contributing to the board of knowledge in terms of researches. Okay, so I've been researching on the issue of ad-lib feeding, where the birds are given food according to their appetite. There's no restriction on the feed that they are accorded. And also on the other side, I was working on restricted feed or rationing, where birds were given a certain amount of feed. If the feed is finished, then it means that's done for the day. So we wanted to see if there are any significant differences between the two regimes, because having the background of 70% of the total cost of broiler production being attached to the cost of feed, it is inevitable. It is worthwhile for us to make that research. So we had our findings, we had our observations. I had my observations, I had my findings, I saw what I saw from that experiment, and that is also going to be relayed in the document that I'm going to produce, the research project also that I'm going to produce. So I research projects, one in ICT and the other one in agriculture, because I'm an agriculture major student. All right. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's a bit. I'm a teacher, but I read. a certain stage where people can say, I'm really a business person, but I've done quite a number of strides towards that which is defined as a business person in Zimbabwe. Uh, so I've registered quite a number of companies. I think I have about 11 companies that I registered. Uh, it is creating or laying a foundation for the future. Companies are not meant for white people. Companies are meant for each and every person who can believe in his abilities to solve problems, his abilities to create employment, his abilities to produce goods and services, and in the process, solving the problems that we face as a nation. People mustn't complain about the problems that we face every day. They must take those problems as an opportunity to provide goods and services, and in the process, making money. Okay, if you have that ability to start something, you are something that is very important to the nation, valuable to the nation. You must give value to your nation. You must always table issues with rationality, not just those people who would want to just oppose anything. Okay, we must come up with so show me that you love me. I'm no one else skies are blue, skies are blue for you. Oh, my love is true, my love is true for you. Oh, skies are blue, skies are blue for you. Oh, my love is true, my love is true for you. Show me that you love me. Okay. Thank you guys. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and also hit that notification button so that each time I upload a video, you get to be notified. I'm very grateful for the gift of life that I have been accorded by the heavens. I wish you well. Thank you very much for hanging around with me here. It means a lot to me. Thank you. I think I have to take a rest. Yeah, I'm 40. What more do I need? Okay, life begins at 40. I've begun in my life today and going forward. I must be able to see change in the way how I interact with others, the way how I do my things, the way how I eh, mingle with other people who may be lower or higher than me. Yeah, yeah, that's what I can say. Yeah, it's a great honor. It is the grace of God. Thank you very much. Tichaona Mupasiri is my name. Tiger Fish. Big up C Clear. Big up Ras Caleb, my homeboy. C Clear. Um, my wife, Langa Violet Mtizira. I love you. My kids, I love you. Okay. Uh, I've turned 40. A junior professor is turned 2 today. We share the same birthday. So that's it. Thank you very much. Thank you for being there for me. It's been a very long time. 40 years is not a joke. 40 years, yeah, it's almost a half century. So thank you guys. 2038, I'll see you in that government, supporters, advisors, critiquers. Okay, all right, we are learning a lot from what has been happening all over the world. Yeah, those in power handled issues and so forth. So I'm learning. This is my time to learn. 2038, I'm contesting for president. 2038, I shall be the president of Zimbabwe and expect nothing but the best out of my service, out of my government, out of my cabinet. We have lined up a number of people that we'll be working with internally here, from all those that I taught as a teacher, as a primary teacher, those that I have met, those that I have argued with, those that I have interacted with on various platforms as a student leader or as a community leader, as a son within a community at college. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. I love you all. Take care.